Hi, everyone. I'm Anil Mawani, CPA, and my focus is accounting and taxes for NFTs. And today I'm bringing you Casey Cavell. I pronounce that right? He's one of the leading experts in the world of NFT and crypto. And I just going to ask him a few questions today and see, and hopefully you can use this webinar and as a useful tool in exploring NFTs and crypto, and especially when it comes to financial planning, accounting, taxes, things like that. So Casey, please introduce yourself and tell us a little about you and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Casey Cavell. My Twitter is Crypto Casey NFT, and sometimes in the NFT and crypto world, sometimes our Twitter handles are really our names because it's kind of weird, right? You got this other world that feels like that we're in, this whole Web3 movement. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life and career. Started my first business at 21 and have built several different Web2 businesses. Spanning all across various industries. And I've been a turnaround expert where I go into something that's already building and working, but it really hasn't reached its fullest potential. And I'm a systems and a process guy. So I like to go into organizations that are already there and improve them, grow them, build them, scale them, and then sell them. And I've done that over past, call it 15 years, and I've done it in several different businesses. So it's been a lot of fun being a serial entrepreneur and investor and really helping ensure that a business that you build and grow, it has a meaning beyond just making the owners and its shareholders a bunch of money. It really has an opportunity to make an impact far beyond the profit and
Wow,
loss
that sounds
statement.
great. Really cool. So how did you initially get into NFTs and crypto?
Yeah, so just through a friend. I think somebody said, "Hey, I own a little bit of Bitcoin," and I'm like, "What is it?" And just started researching about a Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm big on research. I'm big on not just follow the leader, but really understand like what you're investing in before you invest it. And I also follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and that's how I got involved in NFTs and read some of his books years ago. And he's a big proprietary guy about, hey, research 40 hours before you do anything. And that's what I did with both crypto and NFTs, and just kind of believed in it, believed that there's new things that can make life better, that could solve problems. And I saw that cryptocurrency could do that. I'm not a big believer in just truster of the government. And I saw that, hey, they could just print more money anytime they want, and our dollar gets devalued. And I'm just like, hey, there's got to be another way to hedge against the government, the hedge against our current monetary system. And then with NFTs, there's something new. It feels like we're moving into this digital world. And I'm like, well, can NFTs have some kind of opportunity to solve some of our biggest issues, to unite and bring people together to have fun, enjoy each other, create good in the digital and physical world? And yeah, I got introduced to NFTs through Gary Vaynerchuk and had the opportunity to spend some time with him and really understand about his project, VeeFriends. And that was the first ever project that I got into. And I'm like, why do I just want a picture of one of these things that he drew? But he gave you access to a conference. And I'm a big believer in going to conferences and learning information. So I'm like, I'm not paying $3,000 or $2,000 for just a picture. I'm buying a $2,000 picture that gives me access to something far beyond just a JPEG or a digital asset. And that's when it started really making sense that NFTs just aren't a piece of artwork. They can be so much more.
So yeah, I think the first time we spoke, I told you let's just say I know about the Flyfish NFT, I guess, that Gary and another team has put together. And of course, I've heard of Gary Vee well before that. I know a little bit about him and how he started on the internet, things like that. But he is really one of the leaders in the industry, and it's nice to hear that that's how you got your start. Are there any other experiences you want to talk about with crypto? Anything with crypto specific, or is it more NFT focused, your business?
Yeah, I'm more into the NFT side of things. I have my crypto and I kind of got it stashed away. And, I'm a believer that you invest in anything knowing that if it all went to zero, you're going to be okay. I don't think it'll happen, but it could. The dollar could go to zero, right? The stock market could go to zero. Crypto could go to zero. So I'm just a big believer that invest and know that if that one investment, whether it's a piece of real estate or whatever, goes to zero, you're going to be okay financially. And the thing that got me with NFTs were a couple of things. Number one, I went to a Cubs World Series game, six years ago, and I paid, I don't even know what, $3,000 or $4,000 for that ticket. And they gave me a physical stub. And I was worried that when I bought that thing, it wasn't going to be real. Well, blockchain technology solved that issue. And then I'm also like, I'm paying $4,000 for this ticket, but the face value on that ticket was $400. So the Cubs who sold that ticket to somebody paid $400 for that ticket, but that ticket traded hands on the secondary market 3, 4, 5 times. But the original author, the company, made no royalty on that. And I realized by making that ticket an NFT, you're going to prove it's a real thing. You can't get scammed, right? You're also going to make sure the original artist that created it gets a percentage of the royalty. And also 10 years from now, right, when we're all kind of looking at people's digital profiles, because let's be honest, that's what we look at now, right? People don't get together like they used to. They look on your Instagram, they look on your Twitter for the blue check mark. They want to know who you are before they get to know you. And if I could show people that I went to the Cubs World Series, 20 years from now, they're going to be like, wow, he's a real fan. I can't believe he went to that event. And instead of having my ticket stub just hanging on my wall for anybody to see, people can now see what I'm a fan of, what I follow, what I enjoy by looking at my online digital profile. So those were a couple of use cases for NFTs. And the other one that got me was just community. And I've been a member of a couple country clubs before. And let me ask you, like, why would somebody want to be a member at a country club? And why is that, you feel?
Well, I have some personal experience. My brother and his wife and family in Long Island, they recently joined one, I think about almost 2 years ago now. Hey, I love going for the food myself, but
Sure.
they play tennis and they really have they just like it to be a familiar place to go and meet friends and entertain guests and family and even me and my daughters when we go out there and my parents, it's just a nice place to get together, So we just love the environment there.
Absolutely. And there's these NFT communities that are forming that are kind of like country clubs where they're forming in the digital world, but they're all about status, right? People join a country club. Hey, I'm a member of so-and-so. Okay. That's their status. There's the tennis experience, right? There's events, there's all that kind of stuff that you can do at this country club. And then there's also just like networking and connections and people meeting people and doing business deals with, and just, hey, you can meet your new doctor at the country club. You can meet your new accountant at the country club. You can meet your new stockbroker at the country club. And one of the things with NFTs that I got involved in were these online communities that were forming around certain interests. And these interests were, they've been all over the board. And they have NFT communities that are forming over all kinds of different things, whether you're a sports fan or whatever. There's these groups that are forming in the digital world, and they come together and they unite and they connect, but then they go do things in the actual world. And I'm in one called the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's one of the premier, I guess, NFT communities out there. And it's crazy. It's only 10,000 members of this country club. And basically, if you own this NFT, it's basically like a membership pass to a digital community where you get together in a digital world, a locked, private, secret group, right? Where people are chatting and communicating and talking, but there's friendships that are made. There's connections that are made. There's business deals that are being made. There's businesses that are forming out of this group. And then from that, that community has had in real life experiences. They rented a giant yacht in New York City, and there was 1,000 members that got together and hung out and rubbed shoulders and got to know each other and had fun. And then there's been all kinds of different things that have came of this group. So it's kind of interesting because this group now it's several $100,000s to get in to this country club, but it's a digital country club, but they're also doing things in real life. And what's really cool is the people that are in this group, that you're rubbing shoulders and you're connecting with some pretty, influential people. And that's what I think NFTs have an opportunity to do, to get people together that have united interests, passions, and goals, and then use that to inspire and encourage change in the digital and physical world. And I'm a big believer that NFTs and Web3 are going to solve our biggest in real life problems, because whenever you have something that brings people together, around a cause, and you can get a bunch of really smart people working and talking about it, you can do a whole lot of good. So I'm in several of these communities, the V Friends Network, which is Gary V's project, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and there's all kinds of different things that are kind of forming in the NFT Web3 space that I know can have a big impact on people.
Very interesting. You kind of answered my next question, which Actually, maybe I'll just go off on a tangent for a little bit because you hit some spots there for me. Well, one thing, I don't know if you know who Olivia Rodrigo is. She's one of the upcoming. So I have teenage daughters. So anyway, she's like the next probably Ariana Grande or one of those types of music stars. So I'm about to. She's playing in Radio City Music Hall a couple nights in about 10 days from now, and because it's Radio City, I guess, and not Madison Square Garden, even though she's so popular, it's quite expensive. So you made me feel a little better about the money I'm going to invest because it's not. I don't think I'm going to invest as much as you did to see the World Series. But anything for my kids. So. And look, it would make me feel better if the ticket was an NFT of the amount of money I'm going to spend on it. I don't think they're there yet with that.
Where
But
did you buy? Where did you buy that ticket from?
so I haven't bought the ticket yet, but I'm probably going to end up buying it on StubHub or one of those types of sites because it's totally sold out from. Trust me, I was up that morning on Ticketmaster when they went on sale. But
And guess how much this young lady is going to make when you buy that ticket?
Right, she's going to be limited to the face price, not what I'm paying. Right,
she's not going to make any money.
Right.
At all on that secondary thing. And that's why it's going to be an NFT. Everything, digital goods, physical goods, they're going to have these things in NFTs. I got a young daughter. Maybe one day, she turns 18. I get her a nice purse, right? Well, how do I know that purse is a real Gucci purse? And I'm hopefully not going to buy my daughter a Gucci purse, but I'm just giving it as an example of one day she wants a purse. Well, I need to make sure the purse is real. Okay. And I also need to make sure, right, that there's some kind of, digital asset that goes along with that physical asset. So if she ever wants to sell that to somebody else, she could sell it, but the digital asset produces that certificate of authenticity that it's real. And at the end of the day, people want to buy a Gucci purse to show off to other people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's it. So she's going to have a digital asset she can put in her digital wallet to show people she has an actual Gucci purse. And that's why people buy Lamborghinis. Do they buy them for the experience and it's fast? 100%, right? It's pretty cool to be in one. Although I don't think I've ever been in one. I would imagine it's pretty cool. But what's also cooler for these people is they pull this thing up to the Hilton or the Hyatt or wherever they're staying, and they park that thing right in front because they want everybody to see who they are. Well, the world right now is going digital. People care more about their digital credibility than they do their in real life credibility. Well, that's why people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars for NFTs like the ones that you see behind me, because people want that street cred. They want to say, hey, they know what they're doing, or look how cool that they are. And I'm not a big believer that, that for me personally, that's not, important. I know who I am, and I'm not going to be defined by a piece of artwork or an NFT or something like that. But I like it because it's community and it's about the people that own these things and the things that we can do together. But that's why, people are going to do it. And when you go to this event and she does turn out to be the next Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift, she could sell that ticket stub 20, 30 years from now, just like you could have if you were at the first Beatles event 30, 40 years ago. And it's like, look where I was. This is really cool. And ticket stubs and things like this sell in the secondary market years down the road. And as we move to more a digital society, that's what people are thinking about. And I wake up every day and I'm on my phone within an hour, right? So that digital thing is coming, whether we like it or not.
I mean, to Olivia Rodrigo's credit, she's already won. I think she picked up 3 Grammys a couple weeks ago. So she'll make plenty of money. But I totally understand that she could have monetized it way more if the tickets were sold as an NFT. And I guess so could I if I was you're saying if I bought it, just so I'm clear about this. So if I buy a ticket for her concert as an NFT, we both make future money off of that, or only one person does? And she makes money and I make money, or just one of us does?
Well, you would make it if you sold it for more money than you had originally bought it for, right?
Right, but I'm saying once the concert ends, I hold on to this NFT, and then like that's something that I hold on to, not her, right?
It's an asset. You own it. You bought the ticket from her. You paid whoever X amount of dollars. Every time that ticket changes hands, if it's an NFT, the original artist gets a percentage. And then if you own that asset and you ever want to sell that asset to somebody else, you could sell it down the road and then you would recoup it. But if you sold it after the concert, she would still make a cut on that. If I sold my World Series ticket 5 years, 10 years later, the Cubs would make a cut on that, which right now, if I sold my actual physical ticket, they make nothing on it. Think about artists. Whoever painted the Mona Lisa, millions of dollars of paintings have been counterfeited. But if the Mona Lisa was made an NFT, or the physical piece of art was also came with a digital asset, the digital and physical would never leave each other because it's authenticity. And then if you ever bought it, right, the original artist would get a cut on that. And that's why everything is going digital. Baseball cards, Mickey Mantle, Honest Wagner. I mean, these cards are still selling for a ton of money, but people are now realizing that it's the digital world that really matters, because people want digital and virtual swag and street cred. And that's why a lot of businesses are going to digital goods rather than physical goods.
So let me ask you, what like for in the example of the Mona Lisa, or even the things behind you on the wall, what prevents you from selling the hard wall, the hard copy, or the framed, like, tangible art separate from what keeps them together when you said that?
Well, you would want to keep it together, right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
because then you don't know if it's real or it's fake.
Right, but you're losing too much value for just sell one of them by itself. Got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And like, for instance, like the pictures behind me, and that's my favorite NFT is the one on the top left. That's from my little daughter. My wife printed that out. She took like a picture of her and made it into like a piece of digital art. So that's my most
nice.
valuable possession. But like the pictures itself behind me are worth nothing, right? I mean, I guess it would be if somebody wanted to pay for it, which is why anything's worth anything, because somebody's willing to pay for it. But the digital asset that's stored on the blockchain is worth something because it gives me access to a group of people where we connect, have fun, do live, do in real person stuff, all of that kind of stuff. So that's where the NFTs have in real life utility. And then the funnest thing for me is just people getting together that have shared interest. And if you do that and you bring people together, you can do a whole lot of good.
So the items on your wall, you can get that made wherever you want to get it made. You don't have to get it from where you got the NFT from.
You could right click. You could go on my profile right now and see what I own in the digital world, and right click, save it, print it, and put it on your wall.
I got it. Okay.
You could go to the museum where the Mona Lisa is and take a picture of it, print it, and put it on your wall, but you don't own it.
Right.
And because you own it, it gives you other things that come with it, the experience, the network, all of those type of things. And these things are brands, these things are businesses. They're always providing utility and access and things that are pretty impactful.
So I think honestly, I think we answered this, but just in case there's something else, anything else you see as a big future opportunity in NFTs that we already haven't spoken about?
Yeah, I mean, I think NFTs can be used to solve our biggest issues. And I think mission-driven businesses, mission-driven organizations that have a purpose above and beyond just making money can figure out ways to harness this technology to reach more people, make a bigger impact, and unite their people together. So, I mean, I don't think there's a entrepreneur that shouldn't be studying Web3 and NFTs and figuring out what should I do with this technology? How do I use this technology in my current business to get more customers, add value to the customers that I have, or what's my role in it? So yeah, I mean, I think you just do your research, and that's why we started. So we have a company, Kingdom House, where it's just a place that is a innovation hub for mission-driven people to come together and unite and discuss what is the opportunity. And whether you already have a business in Web3 or an NFT project, or you're looking to start one, people just come together and we figure it out together. So, I mean, there's so many use cases for NFTs. I mean, there's dozens of use cases, and you just got to figure out your niche inside of it and figure out where you want to play and what really, what impact you want to make as a result.
Very informative. Thank you so much. Any, not to be negative here, but got to ask the question, any possible pitfalls? I know you mentioned, of course, you could, like any stock or bond or most investments you make in life, you never know when they go to zero or take a big dive. But any other type of pitfalls you see with NFTs or crypto?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the people behind the project. So if you're investing or buying an NFT, you're essentially betting on the team. So it's really understanding who the team is you're investing in. And the pitfall of any project is the team doesn't fulfill the vision. And I think a lot of Web3 NFT projects, they're building projects, but they're not building businesses and they're not building brands. So if you already have something and you're not thinking it as a business, who are the people I need? Who are the resources I need? You have a roadmap and a plan. I think that's pretty bad. I think 99% of NFT and Web3 projects are not going to make it, but it's very similar to your traditional business that starts. And why they don't make it is they don't surround themselves with other people that have been there and done that. So whenever you're investing or buying anything, you need to understand the people that are behind it and what is the thesis that this thing is trying to solve and go after. And I just don't think a lot of people have really understood and figured out like what's the long play here. They just start an NFT or they launch it or they sell it and they make $1 million or they sell 300 or 500 or 10,000 NFTs, but they haven't really thought this thing as a business. And they don't have anybody on their board that has built successful Web2 companies and been part of successful Web3 brands to kind of come alongside of them and help them moving forward.
So that being said, like how do, and of course, I'm not asking you too personal here, whatever you're comfortable sharing, but how do you feel NFTs and crypto part of your financial planning, or you could address it more generally? If you're like, how do they? I mean, I guess. Look, I always believe as a CPA, I'm not a financial advisor or planner, but as a 43-year-old CPA, who's been through a decent amount of my life, and now I fortunately have a successful tax practice here in New York City, and looking to expand to South Florida soon. One thing I tell not only my clients but everyone is it's all about diversification, which I think you've definitely touched on. That is when you say like it can go to zero. Of course, you want to diversify as much as possible, especially as we've lived through things like the Enron scandal and crisis and all these 2008 financial crisis, all these things, and of course what we're going through now in the world. So any specifics when it comes to how you would factor them into financial planning?
Yeah, I think it's probably too early to kind of say what's the right strategy, right? Because I don't think there is one strategy. I think it just depends on each person's risk tolerance. I mean, crypto NFTs are a very volatile thing. It's very new, and it's probably going to be like the .com boom and bust, right? Where a lot of these things are going to go up and most of them are going to go down. And out of that, there's going to be the Apples, the Microsofts, the Amazons that actually make it. So if you are investing in something, understand what is the problem that this thing is going to solve, or what is the solution it's going to provide to the world. And then who the heck is running the project, and invest money that you can afford to lose. And I would say that whether you're investing in a security or anything, invest knowing that it could go to zero. And if you divide your money up accordingly, I think you're in really good shapes. But I am a big believer in making concentrated bets on a few things rather than just placing a ton of bets, right? If you were a sports bettor, a professional sports bettor, you're not going and betting every single game that day. You're understanding the games that you really know and the teams you really know, and you're probably betting 10% of those games because you think you have some kind of special secret to that game because you've done your research, you've done your knowledge, you know the teams, right? You know the players. So that's probably what I would say. And that goes against what your normal wealth managers say. Normal wealth managers just invest in an index, you're playing the field. But if you want to be strategic and you have a little bit of time to invest, get to know people, get to know your organizations, and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. Like, because you're right. Most financial advisors, wealth managers say like 99% of them say pretty much the same thing in different presentations, different wording, different context. So it's nice to hear it from a different point of view for sure. So you mentioned Gary V. Anyone else you follow for NFT crypto information besides him, or any other people you like really think that are going to like lead the way besides yourself, of course?
Yeah, there's a company, Invest Answers. They're really good at the crypto side of things. I forget the gentleman's name, but great guy, Invest Answers. I would say follow me on Twitter. My Twitter profile is Crypto Casey NFT, and then see the people that I follow and just follow them. And anybody that posts something that you don't like, just unfollow them. And you'll find whoever if I follow 500 people, probably 50 of those people are who you should actually follow. But I just follow the ones you like or research them. And then those are the ones that I'm getting my information from on a consistent basis. But Gary Vee's good. There's a guy out there named Zeneca _ I think 33. He's good in the NFT side. Gosh, there's several people out there that are really good that I follow. But yeah, that's what I would say is follow me on Twitter, follow the people that I follow, and then unfollow the people that you don't vibe with. And then figure out 2 or 3 news sources that you like and read those every day or at least once a week.
And is it public information who started the Board Ape Yacht Club?
It is, yeah. Early on, it wasn't, and that's where I was a little bit hesitant because I'm like, who am I investing in? But I'm like, whatever or whoever these people are, they are delivering and they are executing. So that's where I just kept staying with it. It made me really uncomfortable because I like understanding and knowing the people that I invest in. And now more and more people are actually saying who they are before they launch a project. But yeah, it's all public knowledge and public information and why I'm invested in it. And they also have other assets. ApeCoin, it's one of their cryptocurrencies. I mean, they're trying to be like take over the metaverse and all things Web3. And they just launched this coin. And if you look at their board of advisors, they are some players. I mean, they are some A players. And I was given a bunch of this ApeCoin as basically a dividend because I was a part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I kept the majority of it because I now knew who the people were that were running this. And I'm like, those are the types of people that I want to invest in, the forward thinkers. They've made strategic investments in other companies well before they were even a known brand. So yeah, that's kind of what I do there.
Great. Well, Casey, thank you so much. Just before we finish, I know you mentioned the Twitter handle a few times. Any other ways people should follow you?
Yeah, just check out our website, caseycavell.com. You can see all the things I'm involved in. Yeah, caseycavell.com. We got Kingdom House, which is all about helping Web3 and NFT projects grow, expand, reach more people, make a bigger impact. We also have a consulting company that are for companies that are $1 million and more in revenue. And the business owner is all about like, hey, I don't want to be the one running the day-to-day anymore. I want to, be able to focus on what I focus on and just find a team that I can delegate to. So that's our other business, Legacy 412. But yeah, you can check out everything over at caseycavell.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Casey. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Have a good day.
You bet. Appreciate it.